My name is Agnes. I'm born and raised in Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm 35 years old. I've been in China/Shanghai for about 5.5 years now. Right after high school, I went to the US to study for my bachelor, and then I went to Japan for language study, and then I went to Germany to finish my master, and then I went back home for another 3 years to work back home. For me, it was very difficult to readjust into the living way in Jakarta, and then I decided to come to China, learn Chinese for a bit, and then I started working here. I thought about China right away because, to be honest, it was the easiest way to tell my parents that I'm leaving, because they are Chinese, they speak Chinese, and they are very supportive of me wanting to learn Chinese and be more into the Chinese culture and everything. It was my grandparents who moved from China, and to be exact from Guangdong area. It was in the 1920s, and I know from my parents that many Chinese moved to Southeast Asia, to Indonesia, to Malaysia, to Thailand around the same time. And I was just assuming it was because of the political uncertainties. And we have to say that my generation, our generation, is quite lucky. Like, we don't have like struggles in life like that. So with my grandparents, I guess they were afraid and they don't know what to do in China, so they left for a better life, I guess a better opportunity where, well, it's similar, but then here, for me, moving to China, we're not forced. It's not a situation. I chose to come to Shanghai, like probably many others, most of my foreigners friends here as well, because there's just so many opportunities here in China, especially in Shanghai, in terms of education, in terms of business, in terms of jobs. So a little bit about Chinese living in Indonesia. We were quite discriminated back in the days. Basically, my parents grew up speaking Chinese. Like, they speak dialect, they speak Chao Chou Hua, they speak Cantonese, and then they all went to Chinese schools. In the 1960s, the Indonesian government decided that there's no more Chinese school allowed. As a Chinese, if you want to keep your citizenship in Indonesia, then you have to change your family name. So my surname is Guan, but we cannot use it anymore. So around that time, my father had to change his family name. So it was very hard for him, because it's really losing an identity, it's losing your family name. He still uses it, especially speaking with like Chinese clients, Chinese friends. They all call him Mr. Guan. My Chinese Malaysian friend or Chinese Singaporean friend, they don't have the same struggle as me being a Chinese, because in their country they are studying Chinese, they speak Chinese, that's their main language. So like culturally speaking, they're also very close to China because they see it every day. So I think more like my suggestion for people like me who basically didn't grow up having that Chinese culture is to embrace it. It's like to understand more the language, the culture, and everything. I think it's your root. So I think it's good to go back to the root and really understand like where your parents are from, why they do this, why they do that. So kind of, I think in a sense, if you do that, then you understand them as well better.